conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, who was just ordered to pay $49 million in compensatory and punitive damages for defamation of one of the Sandy Hook families, might be facing another problem closer to home. Now, it turns out that, we know that Jones, and he has admitted this, shared an intimate photo of his wife to one of his friends, Roger Stone. That little tidbit was shared during this interview on TYT with attorney for the family, Mark Bankston. Take a look.
The other interesting thing is that Mr. Jones said that there was an intimate photo of his wife on the phone. That I can also confirm that's true. And I normally wouldn't talk about that in public, but there is a public interest angle into this, is that I'm a little concerned about it because that intimate photo was sent to Roger Stone. And I don't know if that was consensual. And if it wasn't consensual, and Mrs. Wolf Jones should know about that, and there might be something that needs to be done about that. Then again, it could be totally consensual. But when I see that, and I don't see any indication that it was, I'm concerned something might not be on the up and up with that. There are certainly laws in certain states about that.
So, okay, I have questions, many questions. One, why would you be sending naked pics of your wife to your friends? Like, okay, sure. If she's okay with it, if she's cool with it, weird, but not a sin. Okay. Nor not a crime, I should say. Do you? Great. No shaming here. But if it is not consensual, well, then, of course, he is right. There are some specific legal issues. Okay. Now, again, maybe it was cool with her. Okay. And she's like, oh, yeah, no. Go ahead and send this to your friends so they can ogle me. Again, weird, but okay. But he did admit on his show before this interview, this was on Saturday, and this was in context of what's on his phone, right? Yeah, okay, you've got something in my wife, but there's nothing in me. Well.
I can tell you that Mr. Jones has made some statements about what's in those text messages, and I'll fact check those really quick for you. He said on InfoWars the other day that while I got a hold of these text messages, there are nothing intimate like pics in there. I can tell you that is categorically untrue.
Thank God.
That is something I was exposed to.
There was a photo I sent my wife of her naked. Okay, they got that. So my wife looks pretty good. Go ahead. I mean, the point is that there's one naked picture of my wife in there. So that's what they've got. And it's just no dick pics, no nothing.
Sometimes as a lawyer, you have to go through materials that you didn't want to see.
Right.
And now those have been redacted so that any member of my staff does not have to suffer the similar thing that I did.
Wait. So it did include that kind of imagery?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, it did. I was unfortunately exposed to that. And Mr. Jones can rest assured that I will protect him in that regard. I will not be releasing any of his intimate photos. And I mean, it's not a rare thing for a person to have that sort of thing. So I'm not trying to judge the man, but yeah, I had to be exposed to that.
You know, I just love her reaction. It's just, that's unfortunate. Like, you can really, I got to give credit to Anna there for suppressing the urge to vomit. Well done. But of course, when we're dealing with Anna, she's a consummate professional. And I mean that in 100%, honest terms. Like, no, this was an excellent interview. Those of you who haven't watched it, you probably should. It's definitely worth your time. But wow, the things that we found out, right? And let me just say this, thanks to Bankston, we dodged that bullet. Because the last thing we need to do is to see, or the last thing we need to see is the results of taking Cockforce Plus on Alex Jones. I do not need to see Alex Unchained. Okay. Now, again, by the way, his wife, because again, that is personal, that is private. And so I am also glad that Bankston is there to protect her confidentiality, to protect her, and by the way, Jones' privacy, so that we don't have to see that. And again, thank him for protecting us from having to see that. Because that is definitely something that we could avoid. Okay. Let's move on here. And hacking happens. That is also true. That attorney could be totally be a douche and leak the text to the world media. Yeah, but it would be a super douchey thing to do. So I'm actually glad he's not doing that, because the last thing we need to see is, again, any of that. And by the way, to have, unfortunately, her photos, which again are private, confidential, from getting out and, you know, embarrassing her. Because again, I think it is important to protect her privacy, and just the fact that we know that these exist, thanks to Jones mentioning it himself. Yeah. And who knows, by the way, I'm going to leave you with one last disturbing thing. Who knows what Roger Stone is doing with that picture right now? No. Mm-mm.
No.
Nope. Not interested. Not interested at all.
Sexual anarchy